live from the Colorado Festival of Horror. Smurf here, and you're about to be terrified. I have Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton.
Yes.
All right. I don't want to, again, it's not a podcast unless I fuck your name up, but guess what, bitches? I got it right this time.
No, you didn't. It's
Like, no, you screwed that one
That's
up.
fine. It's Leone, but you know what?
Oh, I apologize. Cheers.
Yeah.
Chills.
Dave's, he's pacing himself. You guys,
It's the altitude.
It's the altitude. Yes, it absolutely is. I have a question. That is creepy. Who's the one that's afraid of clowns?
Neither of us.
Neither. Okay,
No.
because like one of the number one fears are clowns. And if you guys don't know what Terrifier is, and we have Terrifier 2 coming, right?
Correct.
Which we will talk about. Which one of you maniacs decided to say, you know what? We really need to like put clowns back on the map. Fuck werewolves, fuck vampires.
Yeah.
Let's bring in a clown.
I guess that would be me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk me through this. Paint a picture, please.
Yeah, perhaps inadvertently because I did it back in 2005. I created him. Oh, yeah. I created him for a short film.
Hi.
No, to keep it a long story short, I just thought that there was something I could do with a clown that would be a little different than everything we've seen.
Right.
And I was going to make my first short film that was going to be my calling card once I got out of high school, and I was hoping I would put this into festivals and maybe
Totally Kevin Smith, basically.
Hollywood
Right, Clark.
knocking on my door.
Right.
So, not being much of a writer then, people would say not much of a writer now.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we did see Shakespeare Shitstorm last night, so I mean, there's a lot of playing field on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, but
But I figured I would pack it out with, because I'm also a special makeup effects artist, so I'd pack it out with special effects and demons, creatures, and I had this idea for a clown terrorizing a woman on a city bus that I realized recently that was based on an incident that was happening to my mother at the time, not with a killer clown, but she was commuting to work. Yeah. She was commuting to work, and this guy started following her 2 days, and she was getting really nervous. And that happened while I was writing this. But long story short, I made this short film. I would show it to people, and everybody said, you know, your makeup's cool, the creatures, but that clown you have in the beginning, like, he's striking. Like, there is something there. You really have something, and we need more. You need to make something else with him. And I got that note across the board. So then I decided to make another short film where he was now the showcase, and I turned him into a slasher because I had this affinity for slashers since I'm a little kid. I mean,
Right.
Yeah. Named after The Omen. I've been watching horror movies since I'm 3 years old.
well, I mean, that just seemed like low-hanging fruit. But since you brought it up,
it's
I mean,
100%
Damien,
real.
like, seriously? Your parents are, like, setting you up to either burn a town down or, like, overthrow Christianity. Which is it?
I'm not really one to believe in fate and things like that, but I was really kind of just steered in this direction, honestly, since I'm a little kid. So, but yeah, I mean, I just kept, every time I'd make something new with that character, the audience grew and there was a demand to go further until eventually I had to make the feature film, which was Terrifier. And then I came across this fellow in an audition because he was not the original Art the Clown. So, yeah. So
Who was the original Art the Clown?
my buddy Mike, because at the time when I was growing up doing these makeup effects, he was just my friend. I had his face mold.
And he was willing to just
was the
like,
guinea
hey,
pig.
whatever, Damien, I'm in.
And that's it. I said, listen, you don't have to act. This character doesn't speak. He's in only the opening of the show.
Those are the best roles. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You don't have to memorize shit.
No,
It's
right.
wonderful.
That's what I keep telling everyone. I'm going to give the same offer to you. I just want to be killed. Just put me in a film.
I hear that a
just
lot.
want to die.
Yeah.
I keep telling
People
Jeffrey
love
Riddick,
dying on camera.
that just
Love
please
it.
just fucking kill me. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Next one, guys. So, Dave, you step into. I mean, are these big clown shoes?
Literally big clown shoes. Yeah. And they were Mike's shoes too. So it's like, oh wow. This is
So, how do you approach something? I mean, Pennywise, of course, is like the first like major clown that I think anyone immediately thinks of.
Still, I think he's still the king.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
and especially when we see like the new It and what Skarsgård did, which let's face it, creepy as balls.
Fantastic.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
So I mean, what's your? I mean, how do you get into this? Please.
I just auditioned. They were looking for a tall, skinny guy that had experience with physical comedy and clowning, and I was like, yeah, it sounds perfect. And I had never done real film work other than being an extra before,
Right.
because I was a stage guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, this is a good way to get my feet wet in this industry. So hey, might as well
Game on.
do this. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, yeah.
Did you go to clown school?
No.
Okay.
But I grew up doing a lot of physical comedy and stuff like that. And it's like but I wasn't trained really in it. I just learned from watching like the greats that came before me. But I also had the great experience of 5 years touring with How the Grinch Stole Christmas the musical, which I actually came here with back in 2014. Yeah.
God, man. That's just dark.
Yeah. I was.
Dare you?
Yeah.
He was an elementary school teacher as well.
Yeah. I have a degree in elementary education, so yeah.
Only killed 2 children.
No, it's
Wow.
only. It's Alabama.
Acquitted.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's Alabama. They let you do anything in Alabama. But yeah, it was just like our Grinch was Stephen Carl, who was Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town, and he was actually professionally trained in that area of comedy, so he was able to really take me under his wings and like fine tune my abilities and everything like that. So it was like, and I came straight from doing Grinch to doing art, and so that was still very fresh in my head. So I just put a lot of what I learned from Stephen into art.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Terrifier, walk me through that process, because I want the proper build up for when we talk about Terrifier 2, because I haven't seen it yet. I've been waiting. Actually, I've been waiting to talk to you bastards, because I wanted to see it through you guys' eyes before I really get into this, because I loved the first one, and it was so. I was like, what?
That was the goal.
Okay.
That was it.
All right.
That was it. No, honestly, I mean, I looked at it as this was my only shot to just like swing for the fences.
Okay.
Like
Aim for the cheap seats.
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard, especially then, to raise money, to get anybody to believe in you, to give you money. And the budget was so small. I mean, people don't even realize it was $35,000 we shot Terrifier 1 for. It wound up costing 50.
Holy shit.
Wound up
Are you
costing
kidding
50
me?
by the time it was all said and done. But
Right.
Yeah,
when you get
$50,000.
distribution and marketing and all that shit.
insurance and all the crap
Right,
you don't
right,
think you need and you want to. Yeah. So this was like, okay, how are we going to stand out now? This is my chance. We got the money. I have this character that people are really gravitating toward. How are we going to make a movie that's going to stand out amongst all the Hollywood horror movies? What could we show them? What could we do that they can't do? You know, and I mean, we knew this character we knew there was something there. I mean, where he was going to go, but we knew there was potential. We knew there was a spark.
True story.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, the hacksaw scene, which is something that everybody talks about, right? That's it's art and the hacksaw scene when they leave that movie. So
Really, you should have that like hanging from your like belt, or forget the horn. Just have a hacksaw with a horn on it. That would be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of been my philosophy, even with my short films. It's show people something. There is such a sea of competition out there, especially now with the internet and everything like that. How are you going to get your work to stand out? And I have no problem putting really shocking sort of exploitative images in my work. I mean, I know I'm doing that. You know, people frown upon that sometimes, but I embrace it.
I mean, to be fair,
it's also the movies I grew up loving.
Yeah. So what were the big standout horror films of your time that you're just like
Showgirls.
You know, again,
that was later.
I had that in the last interview. God damn it! I was like, if you say Showgirls, you're out.
It's such a great joke.
It is a great joke. It really is, and it's not the only time.
It's the pool scene. It's the pool scene. It's just like,
No, anyway. So besides Showgirls,
Yeah. I mean,
it has all the elements. Anyway,
all of them. You know, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of my all-time favorites, and I saw that
first one or second?
the first one. I love both.
Okay.
But the first one is my.
yeah, they're so different from each other.
Well, they are, and we actually had a conversation earlier with one of the other teams that like they kind of invoked somehow the second Chainsaw when they were doing the scene, and it was just like very like. Oh, that came out a lot different than we had anticipated. They, like invoked somehow that feeling. So,
In what capacity? And what scene?
in the lights when they were setting up for the Christmas tree lights and all of that.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh. So when you were putting together Terrifier, were there like moments that you're pulling from your background that you're like, oh, I definitely want to try and channel this?
Yes.
Yeah, he almost exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've totally just cut some from their vajayjay down and stuff like that. But no. I should have been a gynecologist. That's what I really should have been. Like, I was like,
Using the whole fist there, Doc.
oh yeah. Where's my watch?
Such a good Chevy Chase joke.
Oh yeah. Or it's like the Mr. Bean turkey thing.
Oh,
It's just a person on the head. Oh, that's horrible. Oh my God, that's a horrible. Oh my God, we should do that.
visual.
Oh my God, that's
That
an
laugh
idea.
is yours, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, okay.
that's my real laugh.
Okay.
It's there.
He's the Joker and Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
Please.
So you're putting the scenes together. The film that you're most wanting to channel, or the scene that you're kind of wanting to capture, which is it?
Well, for the hacksaw scene, I said, okay, we got to show something that I've never seen before, and I've seen a lot.
Right.
I've seen almost everything. And I was looking up medieval torture methods, and I came across this method that is supposedly real, where they would hang people upside down,
Right.
and with a giant saw that was meant for, I guess, cutting trees down or something like that, or logs. They would just one person on each end. They would saw this person in half slowly, and they would survive for a while because you weren't hitting any major organs or anything, supposedly.
What was it? The one that was it? It's not Jawbreaker, where she takes a butcher wire to his legs.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Audition.
Audition, yes. That was. I mean, and she
incredible.
lops off his foot and then throws it
incredible.
against the sliding glass door, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Exactly. Wonderful stuff.
It was, and I got that feel when I was watching the hacksaw scene from you guys, and I'm just like,
Cool. Yeah.
my God.
Yep.
Yeah, and let's show it.
Yeah, see, and that's even better.
Yeah.
So going in the Terrifier 2, what like, I know automatically you're thinking, okay, we got to top the hacksaw scene because it's always like bigger, better,
Sure.
brighter.
Yeah.
What are you thinking is the bigger, better, brighter?
I could tell, because I've said this already in interviews, one of the there's multiple scenes where we really try to get to that level.
Stick it to the audience.
There's one in
Right.
particular where they see it and they say, oh, that's the scene where they're trying to, you could tell.
Right.
Because it's pretty relentless. It goes on for a while. Sorry.
No, you're fine. They're good.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
I could say this because I can't go into details.
Of course. I know, no spoilers.
So I like to research real things. Believe it or not, I don't like real violence. People think they find it shocking. So I really don't. It makes me disturbed. Yeah. But for research, for movies, right, I will look at real stuff. And I was going through a book of Jack the Ripper one day, and there's actual photographs of his victims.
Right.
And there's one image of one of his victims mutilated on a bed, and the body is so horribly mutilated, you can't even tell it's a human being anymore. It's like that bad. And I said, all right, that's a great place to start. And let's reverse engineer that and show how that person ended up in that final state. So that's one of the big kill scenes. Yeah, and then the fun is figuring out what did he do? What were the stages? What were the...
So are you exercising demons in this? I mean,
Oh yeah. They're just doing all the leg day one day, you know. I was like, oh, pulled it. Oh, good. Yeah.
So what are you thinking when you come into this and you get the script and you're like, oh, seriously, we're doing this?
Oh boy, it's like yes. But even this kill that he's talking about, we took it even further than what was actually in the script because of COVID.
Oh.
Because we had extra time.
And more time and more editing and
Yeah, so he's like, because we started filming it right before COVID, so we did the intro to it, but we had to take a gap there so we could start building prosthetics.
Right.
And then we went lockdown in New York, and we're like, well, shit. He's like, let's use this time wisely. He's like, let's revamp this whole entire scene and make it even crazier. Let's go just crazy with it. And so it was originally supposed to take me like two days to film. It took about 5-6 days to film.
Well, we did shoot 2 days, and then we shot an additional 5 days.
Yeah.
So,
Holy moly.
yeah.
Okay.
Because there's just so many elements to it.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out to my liking, and I knew that this was the expectations were so high for this one kill scene. Everybody, how are you going to top the hacksaw?
Well, I mean, to be fair,
rightfully so.
You're right.
Of course, understandably so. So I said we have to reconfigure this and just figure out the best way to tackle this, and it has to deliver the goods. So pretty much went back to the drawing board, and we really came up with some despicable things to do.
Things that made me even cringe when we were doing it, because he
Don't lie to me.
Yeah, no, I'm serious, because I told him, you know, there are two things that make me cringe, because of stuff I've encountered in my own life, so I can empathize with the pain involved with it.
Right.
And he put both of those things into this kill. I'm like, so I'm like, ah! Yeah.
No, it's not bad.
But it worked out that way, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So we're filming, and I would actually have those. It's a good thing sometimes we weren't filming sounds because you didn't see my face, but I'm sitting there going, "Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!" Yeah. Oh, this. Oh. So it's like you know it's gonna be good when it gets the guy doing the kill himself, going, "Oh no!"
Wow.
Yeah.
That is spectacular. So, what's next? I mean, is there Terrifier 3? Are you thinking we need to go somewhere else? Are there new characters that you want to branch into? Is there something that you're like, I've been
A rom-com.
Terrifier on a date. I like it. Swept right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I like it.
Both.
Oh, okay.
There's so much more to do with Art the Clown. At least one more film I'd love to tackle.
Right.
In terms of a dream project, if Hollywood came up to me right now and they said, "Here, we'll give you all the money, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to work on?" Two things. I would love to direct Friday the 13th reboot. I think I would love to.
Reboot would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to do it anyway. So
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And the other one is my favorite subgenre is the zombie genre, even though it's remarkably played out at this point. But I would love to I have a story for a George Romero-esque, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the
So I was
Dead.
just about to ask you, what would you do if you got a chance to take a shot at like Romero's
I'd try to
universe?
I would never touch it, but I'd try.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Yeah, it's hard to do. But
100%. I would try and reach for the heights of Dawn of the Dead, his Dawn of the Dead, but starring Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's zombie.
What are you doing there? Get Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry. I have my.
you're not.
If that ever happens, I'm showing him this fucking thing. He ain't like it.
That was very good.
He ain't gonna like it.
This is very good.
This blew out my next three questions. So good. So because the zombie genre is a bit played out, and I would love to see a reboot.
Yeah.
Is that the passion though? Horror is it? Horror's in, and is this the new golden age of horror?
I don't know if it's a golden age of horror. I think it may be a nice resurgence of slasher. I don't know about throwing golden age around anytime soon, but I know the slasher genre is definitely coming back. I think we're in it right now. This is the perfect storm for us, especially. I would say we're lucky to be making this now. Yeah,
Because I mean, especially when you like, and I love this film. Is Nope. I mean, there's just so many like great moments in Peele's film. Yeah, I mean, all of his horror films.
I haven't seen it yet either.
It is spectacular, and it plays on the perfect cliches, and he's so clever about it. Is there other filmmakers that you're out there seeing that you're like, I want to get more kind of in that stream, or I want to get in this mindset?
Oh my God, I'm influenced by so many people. But even now, they're older school filmmakers like Tarantino is one of my all-time favorites. But
It's hard to be the good Tarantino film.
he's the only director, and I love so many directors like that. I still have to go to the movie theaters to see his.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every other filmmaker that I've loved and I've followed on that trajectory, eventually they all lost me at some point, just in terms of having to go to the theater to see their film. Doesn't mean they lost me, but
No.
it's still an event. Tarantino, when one of his movies comes out, to me, it's an event. I have to go see it.
Well, and even, I mean, from Dusk Till Dawn, I know him and Rodriguez teamed up for that film. But you can tell the defining line right after the trunk scene. You know, you can see that transition from Tarantino to Rodriguez.
Yeah, for sure.
And Hateful Eight was
loved it.
so. I mean, just the build a whole film around a room was just diabolical.
It's amazing. I've seen it probably 9 times.
So good.
Yeah.
So
And it was great. Are there characters that you think too dark yet still to come out? Are you working on that? You're like, I don't know if I can do this.
Other characters, like horror characters.
Yeah.
And stuff? Sure, I have a bunch. Yeah. I don't know if I can.
Oh, you're gonna be replaced before you. No, he ain't gonna be replaced.
No,
He's Freddy. We know.
I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just like,
No, and it's not just horror. I love, like I just said, Tarantino. So I love crime movies. I love thrillers, movies like Taxi Driver, Clockwork Orange, things like tones like
was
that.
pretty hard to beat in Taxi Driver. But oh my God, Clockwork Orange or De Niro, excuse me, Clockwork Orange. When I see people walking around and
It's so iconic.
and they're like 13, 14.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
you don't even. What do you know?
it's like, don't put that prosthetic on your face.
Your parents failed.
That was me. I didn't dress like that, but I specifically remember. I remember being 10 years old and hanging out with the older kids who were 12. And at that age, that gap, they may as well, you think they're like 20. Like they seem so much older, and they'd all seen Clockwork Orange. And I remember one of them telling me about it. And they're explaining it, and in my head, it's nothing like
It's nothing
you
like
can
what
never
you see.
possibly imagine what you're going to see.
And Malcolm McDowell, as far as he delivers in that
my
film.
God.
And then, of course, you see him now, and I mean, it's like, no, that ain't the dude from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a stark contrast between the two.
One of the greatest characters
So
and performances
good.
of all time.
Such a
It's
good
like
movie.
undeniable. But my I convinced my mother to take me to the video store to rent that. She'd heard about it, and I remember her going.
He's such a good boy. He's into arts film.
She did not care. I mean, she could care less. She would just take me, like, all right, get something, let's go. You know, she had her own stuff to worry about. You know, it was like the babysitter was the VCR for me. You know?
Yes.
But that was
Video exchange is the best place on the planet, right?
That was the only time she went up to the clerk and she goes, "I've heard some things about this. Is this all right for him to watch?" And he goes, "Oh yes, he's fine." The opening scene
You
of
had
the
the
movie.
cool mom. Yeah, the opening scene.
the girl
She's
gets
all like,
raped.
oh, maybe that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
I'm
Turned out-
singing in the rain.
Who do you want? I mean, what's like your one star that you want to like bring in and like complete besides Sylvester Stallone?
Besides Stallone.
I mean, that's and you, of course. I mean, Dave.
It's so hard to say. There's it's countless because I'm such a huge fan. It depends on what the movie would be, what the project would be.
All right.
Like all those guys we just talked about, the legends.
Right. I mean,
You know, like on
small chance.
Yeah, I mean, especially in like the horror world, like people we actually run into, things like that.
Right.
Bruce Campbell, I would kill to work with. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, Ash is one of my obviously one of everybody's favorite.
Everybody. I mean, yeah.
But Evil Dead 2 specifically, that's one of my favorite movies of all time since I'm a little kid. So
It's hard to beat Bruce, especially when he's on a roll.
yeah.
He's at a different level from everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, he just had that like higher brow, like level of omnipotence.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
He intimidates the crap out of me still. I've been like in an elevator one time with him, and I cracked a joke, and I'm like, made him laugh. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
an achievement point right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm out.
I'm good.
Mic drop. Peace out.
I'm not gonna press this any further.
Well, guys, that is time. Unfortunately, you have a con to do. You have makeup to don, from what I understand. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You are full on regalia.
Yeah. Put my face on.
How long does it take to get you geared up?
About an hour now. It used to take about 3 to 4 hours, but we've perfected it a lot.
And this is your creation. This is all your makeup, all your prosthetics.
Yeah, I still do the makeup as well. But yeah, when he's in the makeup, I mean, at the cons, he completely gets into character.
So you don't break character. For
I don't
shit.
talk or anything. No.
It's very fun.
As soon as I leave the room, I'm
You're Voorhees. You once the mask goes on.
Yeah. Not on set though. On set, I'm.
Well, you kind of. I mean, you have to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But in public.
I would. Everybody would kill me if I acted like that all the time on set. I think they would just be like, nope, no more, no.
Okay. So, how many kids have you scared the ever living shit out of?
I think I've scared more adults than kids.
Really?
Love him.
Yeah. Especially little girls. They love me. They're like.
Love him. It's wild.
Yeah, it's grown adults, especially grown-ass men. I loved it. Like, one of the best ones was our security guy when we did Astronomicon.
Right.
This big mountain of a man. And he had been butting up me all weekend and stuff like that. Then I'm in the costume. He had a fear of clowns, and we're in the elevator together, and he is backed up in the corner of the elevator, and I'm like, I'm gonna have fun.
Well, I was gonna say, you're gonna.
I gotta have fun. And I had my horn, and I'm just sitting there the whole entire time, just slowly bringing the horn up to his face the whole way down the elevator. He's like, David, don't you dare, don't you fucking dare, don't you dare. And I waited because I knew we're gonna be in the lobby. There's gonna be a bunch of people outside that elevator. The doors open. And I just like honked it once, and he just screamed. He was like, God, no. And of course, everybody sees that all happen. I'm like, yes, yes.
So he's made a couple of people, two in particular I remember specifically, two girls like crying and running away, like trying.
Yeah. In the photo op.
Getting the courage to get into the photo op, but once they get near him, they freak out. And
They
run
just
out.
ran out. They're like, man, your picture's over here.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Do you really play into it? Do you really just poke it?
Oh, I have fun with it. That's fun. It's so freeing. Even people that are at the con, just in the lobbies of the hotels and stuff like that, I just sometimes just go up behind someone and just stand behind them. And they turn around, I'm like right in their face. They're like,
He has fun with it.
oh yeah,
So there's one of our crew that's a Ghostbuster that has a fear of clowns.
awesome.
I'm going to point him out to you.
Okay.
I know Susie's off camera just shaking her head at me like, Smurf, you evil bastard.
It's fun. It's fun.
You're a Ghostbuster. You're not supposed to be afraid of
I'm
clowns.
not afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah,
or
afraid of no ghosts, but
or-
clowns, evidently.
Clowns, oh my God.
Where can they properly stalk you, follow you, keep up with what's coming on the Terrifier, your events, films, everything, please?
Well, my OnlyFans page, no.
Oh,
No. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram under David Howard Thornton.
okay.
Yep, easy.
That's way too easy.
I know.
Make
Too
it too
easy.
easy.
I know.
Same, Damien_Leone on Instagram, Facebook, the Art the Clown Appreciation Society.
Yay.
What is the Terrifier 2 website? Is it Terrifier2movie.com? I believe it is.
Okay.
So yeah, you
When
can
is
still,
that coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out October 6th. They're still listing theaters from now till next week.
Because I know there's still like some sneak peek stuff out there, and I know it's kind of, I wouldn't say leaked, but I mean it's out there. You just gotta find the right direction to get to it. But
Yeah,
they didn't release.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, the trailer came out. And
Yeah.
you can see, there's 2 trailers, I think. But it's playing in like 700 theaters for 3 days, October 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah, and AMC, Regal, so it's pretty legit. And it might be going into Alamo Draft Houses as well. So, but if you sign up, if you go to Terrifier 2 movie, and you can sign up to get notified if it's going to be playing in your area. Yeah, so definitely do that.
Do you have big plans? Are you going to a theater? Are you doing a red carpet?
We are going both. We're doing a red carpet October 5th in Manhattan, but I don't have all the details yet.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my God, you get to go to the big show.
I know.
show.
I get to dress up and be fancy.
the U.S. premiere is in Austin, Texas at Fantastic Fest.
All right.
The 22nd.
It's fantastic.
That's going to be huge. So we're excited for that.
Wow. I'm excited to see it.
Thanks.
Guys, thank you for coming. My God, I never
you're
thought we
welcome.
would get you, but here you are.
Hey.
Thank you so much. I can't wait for my photo op.
Oh yeah. It'll be fun.
I can't wait.
If you have any ideas, just bring it with you. We'll do.
No,
I like to play around, so I don't like just doing the typical point pictures.
No, you're.
No, I can't do that.
No.
Can't do that. Got to keep it fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Dildos. Anyway.
What? The big wobbly ones.
Thank you, sir. Though this was
Jamie, no, thank you. Dave, thank you. There you go, guys. Give them a like, give them a share. Follow closely the Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Worth your time and worth the scream. In the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.